Hi there, Rachel Bryant with Bryant Homestead here. In this video, we will be showing you what our rabbitry setup looks like. We started about a little over a year ago with our rabbits. We got 4 breeder rabbits. We got a male and 3 females, starting with Rex breed rabbits. And we started with thinking of a colony setup. I'll get to that a little bit later in the video. Colony setup is where you keep all of your rabbits together, so no separating, no nothing. And then we actually decided that individual hutches off of the ground was better in the long run, as with what we wanted to do with our rabbits and how we wanted to set them up. So eventually we decided that Rex breed was a little bit small for what we wanted, so we moved on to getting a New Zealand male. We wanted to keep our Rex females, but we added a New Zealand breeder to the mix, and I'll show you all of them in this video. Yeah, so follow along if you're interested. If you're not interested and just want to see cute bunnies, also follow along. They're pretty cute. So yeah, so we started doing a colony setup in this mobile tractor, and it didn't work out very well, so we decided to move on to something different. So you can see that we still use it though. These are our grow out bunnies. They get moved about once every 3 to 5 days. They get fresh grass, fresh trimmings, and they demolish it within a couple days, so which is why we move them so much. Unfortunately, these little guys will go on to freezer camp, but they're fun while we still have them. From the tractor setup, we went to something a little bit more stationary, but as you can see, we can still move this stationary hutch, and we just put them there for maybe about a month, and then we usually move them because, well, you know, the poop and urine collects underneath, and once it gets a little bit too high for comfort, we move them. And we started out with 5 adult bunnies that we keep as breeders. We actually have still have 5. Yeah, sorry. We actually still have 5. I had to do a quick count in my head. We're actually moving from this setup to individual hutches, which I'll show you in a minute. These are our individual hutches, which we only have 2 of right now, but we are working on making more of them. That's Jester right there. We'll talk about their names and everything later, but yeah, they're pretty neat. They're pretty nifty. They've got an enclosed area and they've got an open air area, and we can see inside they have a great place for nesting. This is Queen right here. Queen doesn't have any straw, but she will later today, and she has flipped over her food bowl, which is great, but she's a sweetheart. They all pretty much are. But yeah, these are our individual cages. This is King. King is our backup buck, so he doesn't really get much action anymore. He was our first buck, and we decided to keep him just in case anything happens with our main buck. It's always good to have a backup, because you never know with rabbits. They're very sensitive to disease, but thankfully we haven't really had a problem with that. This is Mistress. She is one of our main female breeders. She unfortunately gets to be neighbors with the boys because we don't quite have a setup for her quite yet. Yeah, she's one of our originals. Both she, King, and our other two females are Rex breeds. A little bit on the smaller side, but they're good. They're good bunnies. This is Constable. It's a little hard to see him, and also he has water all over his face because he just took a drink. Yeah, so he's not like gross or anything. He's a sweetheart too. He is actually a New Zealand breed rabbit. We wanted something a little bit bigger than what we had, so we're trying him out. Unfortunately, we haven't had babies from him yet, so we haven't quite seen what his genes will do, but he is also a sweetheart. This is Jester. She's a little bit of a mess, and you know, that goes to her name. She does a lot of silly things, and she unfortunately didn't have a very successful litter when she had her first, which is very normal for first litters. So we're giving her another chance to produce and be a successful mommy bunny, but we'll see how she does, and that will influence her future on the homestead.